Who has the right of way when you're off-road on a trail? What do all those hand signals mean? And why do people leave angry comments when they see that I've passed someone on the trail? Today we're going to talk about off-road etiquette.
What was that? Are you serious?
I'm in trouble.
What the hell? What did you just...
So sometimes when I post a video and I pass someone on the trail, someone will comment as if I snatched Queen Elizabeth's purse. Yes, passing is allowed on the trail. There's no rules or set standards of when you can pass and is it right to pass this, that, or the other. If it's safe for both parties involved to pass, you could go ahead and pass. Side-by-sides pass 4x4s like Jeeps and Land Cruisers all the time on the trail. Dirt bikes also pass cars and Jeeps and trucks on the trail all the time. As long as it's safe and it makes some sort of logical sense, the person moving faster behind you shouldn't have to wait for you to be done going in slow motion before you're allowed to pass. Go ahead and pass. And I think a lot of the misconception around passing people on the trail comes from the herd mentality that comes from weekend warriors coming on the trails in large groups. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. And that is literally the 4x4 equivalent of this. Yeah, you've seen it a million bazillion times. When those annoying cyclists get on the road and they form a herd, they think they've somehow formed Voltron, and that since they're in this large mass of numbers that they've formed some sort of mecha warrior that's invincible, and now it can cycle in the middle of the road and be on the interstate, and as long as they're 40 deep of cyclists in their racing spandex and their water bottles, they could go ahead and just cycle in the fast lane on the interstate in front of 18-wheelers. The herds of human livestock that do that on the trail often end up imitating those same undesirable traits. Like animals in the jungle in a herd, just because you're in a herd doesn't make you any safer. Same idea, different jungle. Unfortunately, a lot of people in herds think that that's an excuse to share brain cells and do things that they normally wouldn't do if they were alone. Therefore, it can be perceived that when somebody passes a, quote, group of people on the trail, that they're doing something, quote, disrespectful, and in fact, they're not. They're just moving along and moving about their business, just like the dirt bikes pass, just like the side-by-sides pass. If it's safe to do so, it is totally okay. I recall going up a Black Diamond Trail one time, 2N17X, and there was a group of Jeeps and a big long herd of a caravan, and we're going up the hill. I know the camera will flatten this out, but it's actually uphill, and there's Jeeps up in front on a blind hill, and I'm taking it with some momentum because it's a hill, even though it doesn't look like a steep hill climb, but it's a bunch of hill climbs. And I'm flying up the hill, and the last Jeep is sitting there, I don't know, checking his phone or doing something, but he wasn't moving along the trail. So I came up on him a little tight, but I saw him at the last moment, and I gave him some room to breathe. But as we continued along up the trail, I could hear them on the radios. Oh, that guy in the Lexus, he came up on me, and they were literally the guy in the front guy in the group was angry. I could hear him yelling, "We were on the trail first. The trail belongs to us." He literally said that. I'm not making that up. And so this guy gets out in a Jeep shirt. Yes, he had the Jeep shirt on. And angrily waves us along. He was actually angry because he thought by going in a Jeep group of 5 Jeeps deep that, again, he had formed Devastator. When the Constructicons come together, we are Devastator, we own 2N17X, it belongs to us. And that's not cool. So from my perspective, and a lot of people's perspectives, a group on the trail can be seen as a positive thing or a negative thing depending on how that group acts. But you're allowed to pass A-OK as long as you're being cool. Now we're off-roading, so stuff happens, you can't see this, that, or the other, and some people say, well, you came up fast on them or you passed them fast. I can assure you that's just a camera. We're on off-road trails. Some people are in 4 low, some people are in 4 high. When I passed someone on the Burns Canyon Road, it looked like I flew by them. I can assure you that was the difference between a mobility scooter and a turbocharged mobility scooter, me being the turbocharged one passing the other truck. We were going about 20 miles an hour. It was the difference between 15 and 20 miles an hour. It just looks like I'm flying by them on camera. It's fine. What about those hand signs? Well, when I was new to off-roading and I'm going down the trail, I'm going by an off-roader, you know, so he's coming at me and I'm going, you know, we're going in opposite directions. And next thing I see, he waves the power to the people sign. I'm like, whoa, this is all right, okay, this is a cool trail. A couple other off-roaders, you know, down the road, it's the same thing. And well, everybody's cool on this, you know, they're radicals on this trail. I had no idea what was going on. Go down the trail a little further, hey, someone's waving the peace sign and then a rock on sign. And I'm thinking, oh, this was just the gosh darn coolest trail ever. Everybody's so cool on this trail. So what I was seeing, of course, was the etiquette of when two people are coming head to head with each other on the trail. You're letting the opposing driver know how many people you're with or how many people are behind you because they can't see that. Now, those of you off-road already know this, but if you're new to off-roading, that's the etiquette. The power to the people sign means 0, you're alone. 1, or 1, I guess you could do. 2 means there's 2 behind you or something. I don't know. You get the idea. This is supposed to be 0, probably. This is supposed to be 1. The point is this. If you don't see this, it means there's at least 1 person behind that person. And if you see a bunch of digits and hands waving or whatever, that just means there's a bunch of people. So keep that in mind and pass each other in a safe manner. Which leads to right of way. And right of way is in that same situation when you're head to head with somebody on a trail or a narrow trail like a shelf road. Who gets to go first? The right of way. Now on road there's all sorts of rules, we already know them. But off-road there's no rules, so there's just a general understanding that the person going uphill has the right of way, they get to go first. Now use common sense. If you're the one going uphill and you just are starting that hill and you got a bunch of flat land behind you and there's a bunch of people or even 1 person, again, it doesn't matter, you being in a group doesn't change the rules. If 1 person is coming down and they've been snaking down this narrow downhill shelf road and it's going to be a pain for them to back up just so you can come up and you've got a bunch of room behind you. You get what I'm rambling here. Go ahead and back down and let that person come down. This doesn't need to be complicated or dorky. Just be cool when you're out there and have some level of flexibility and basic common sense, and that's all there is to it. Now this video is not going to get into the social stuff behind off-road etiquette, meaning people lighting fires, shooting guns, playing their music loud, trash on the trail, and doing all sorts of nonsense like that. I think that's crystal clear, and that just comes down to just basic human behavior. You're going to have some people that are bad and some people that are good, and nothing in humanity is going to change that. But since we tend to keep it real on this channel, let's go ahead and keep it real. And let's just say, generally speaking, people that are visitors to the trail tend to treat it like trash more than people who live out here in nature, no matter where you are. I feel that people that are closer to urban living tend to trash the trail, and that comes from the psychological effect of I'm free. They live in cities, they're cramped together, and when they get out on the trail, they get out in the wilderness, they go, I'm free. So out come the guns, out come the fireworks, out come the fire, out come the loud radios, and they run around like they just got released from prison after serving a 30-year sentence. They're not used to freedom. So they're actually going to act out hyper freedom when they get out in an area like this, simply because they're so, everything I just mentioned in the city, they're so restricted that they're going to overdo it. It's kind of like the stereotype of American tourists going to other countries being disrespectful, loud and dirty and obnoxious and this, that, and the other. But all that's beyond the scope of this video, but you catch my drift. Bottom line is, there are some basic rules on the trail, but unless otherwise posted, the ultimate rule is simply always going to be reasonable out there. The trail doesn't belong to you, it doesn't belong to me, and it doesn't belong to your group. We can't always control what other people do, but you can control yourself.
Down with the clean of the hot hat, lift up face, and then they knocking on my door. I've been feeling the boom, just a little after 4. So what's up with that core was really just for yo. Break out the sword and let's go cruising in your Ford. Watch out, yeah, sweet snow is the deal. As she shouted, it's the funky lesson 1 to the grill. I should have known that something wasn't right in walking. The biggity boom was just ticking and clocking. A night boy in plaid is passed from his dad. Another straight in the fight man, but he wasn't from the right clan. Stop all the nonsense, defense is my defense. Oh yeah. I know the mode is daily dense. Time has passed on, but it's been a million days. We're still ninth and divided, running round in haze.